had Dame Dash here a couple months ago, and we did a nice podcast together. And it was interesting just listening to him, kind of processing what he has to say, and the fall between him and, how it didn't work out, and Jay-Z, and we talk Kanye. We talk a bunch of different things together. How much of it was, the fact that maybe, some personalities, if you come from a very humble beginnings, you live in a regular life, and then all of a sudden, boom, fame and money hits you, you don't know how to handle it. Mm-hmm. It's like, wait a minute, what the hell just happened? Imposter syndrome, I'm just a regular guy. What is this all about? Why is this happening to me? And then sometimes you feel you have even more authority and you push more and you're a bigger asshole or a bigger diva to deal with. And there's people on both sides, right? Some, they're harder to work with because they're become bigger divas. Some, they're harder to work with because they become bigger assholes. Almost like tyrants and dictators and my way or the highway.
Money makes you become who you are.
More of what you are.
Exactly.
It reveals what
So it's not that money corrupts you. Money amplifies your corrupted
I totally agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you. But do you think a part of yourself with the climb and, some of the setbacks that you have, how much of that do you think it was your own doing versus no, it was done to you?
I do think that there was, I suffered a lot with jealousy as a person, and I because I'm so, I don't know, my brain's built creatively. I think I am similar to Kanye in that way. We think about ideas and we think about the world, and we're like, and get inspired, and we're triggered a lot by things, and our brain jumps around, and I don't spend time in that sort of feeling, but I realized that a lot of people in power were always jealous of me because I had this weird ability to do it out of nothing, and do things that other people strive for years and years and years to do, which I didn't really think was a thing before when I first came out. I didn't realize that was a thing that people strived for, and invested tons of money into and did all this stuff. And to me, it happened very naturally. And it's I don't know, it's it maybe was my destiny to become a musician. And I say that now, but wouldn't have said that 15 years ago. So I think in that sense, I think half of it, I think, could be that, my original goal was just to come from a very traumatized place and a traumatic life experience and make that a positive thing and put it out into the world to teach people that you could come from anything and be positive. But it wasn't necessarily that I wanted to be this very rich person, or even fame was not my end goal. The end goal was being creative and being able to give therapy to yourself through art, that you come out a better person. And that was happening, and it was really great, and other people were connecting to it, and the connection was really inspiring and super interesting and really amazing. And, I don't know how that happens in the world, but that was a really awesome thing to experience. But I think that in the end, there was a line drawn, and people were being made into very rich people, and it was always day one said that I cannot be financially empowered, I think, by a lot of people behind the scenes, because the power would have been too much. That I already had the power, to talk to people and to communicate and to connect with, if I had to make a song with £10, it would still have an impact as much as a song made with $1 million, you know. And that was a really a spontaneous and a natural thing. And I think people thought, oh, if she had money as well, she'd be too crazy, you know. And so my money was always curbed, and financially I was always curbed from the beginning, because the power was too much, you know. People would like turn up to my shows with like AK-47 magazines, and, you know, people would be like, it was very, very real. Like,
really? AK-47 magazine?
Yeah, and get me to sign guns, and, you know, and people, like, there was a show I did where a Palestinian girl threw this like letter up on the stage, and she put like a chain and a pendant inside it. And she was writing a letter telling me about how her mum died in her lap, you know, and that listening to my music in the tent got her through. And it's just pretty intense, you know.
I feel it. I saw an interview of yours. It was one of the earlier videos where you're talking to your mom, and your mom is walking away and she's washing the dishes. I think and you're like, I haven't seen them for 16 years. I'm trying to find a way to rebuild a relationship with them and rekindle that relationship. What was that moment? Have you seen this clip? I can show it to you if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, sure.
In these uncertain times, if there's anything we need people to believe the future looks bright. So if you've heard about me saying this mission to you, we're on a mission to get 1 million people to wear this gear, and this is what we're doing. If you buy one of these hats, there's a category of buying one hat, getting the second one free. If you haven't yet worn this gear publicly, go ahead and test it out. Buy some of the gear, wear it in public, and see how many people will stop by and say, you also watch Valuetainment? You also follow PBD Podcast? I do too. Place your order. Go to vtmerch.com, click on a link above or below, place your order, and represent the VT and the PBD Podcast gear.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.